Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of the Oklahoma State Cowboys Dynasty. USC, as we know, is just unbeatable this year. Very nearly, they lost to TCU a few weeks ago, but they clearly have not let that loss hamper them at all. Oklahoma State showed some promise 2 weeks ago. They had a bye week last week, but 2 weeks ago against West Virginia was an absolute shutout. Unexpected result for Oklahoma State to come back from a 1-3 season, to suddenly hit West Virginia with a complete shutout of a game. Let's see if they can manage to pull off another miracle like that here today against USC, who has been putting up at minimum 40 points per game. Ooh, and Wrangle just gets stopped in the backfield. No going. Looks like they're focusing on their rushing attack so far today. Gordon couldn't get to the marker, but it's going to be 4th and 1. Oklahoma State is going to go for it. See if they can get something going here in this first drive. This will definitely set the tone for the rest of the game today. Gordon makes it across the line, makes it for much more. Instead of just 1 yard, he got 20. An amazing rush by Ollie Gordon, one of the breakout superstars of this team. As we can see today, much like last time, Garrett Wrangle is the starting quarterback for Oklahoma State, not Bowman. Something many people were saying was bound to happen given the way he had been playing earlier this season. Josiah Johnson gets absolutely rocked, but makes the catch. Many people were saying it should have happened earlier, probably would have prevented a loss to Kentucky. As we know, Garrett Wrangle saw some action over the past couple weeks that has just been absolutely astounding. Breakout again. Going to him, Johnson. 2nd and 4, 6-yard reception for Josiah Johnson. Seems like that move away has been the best decision so far. So far, not a single huddle by Oklahoma State. They are really pushing it down the field, hitting the treadmill these past couple weeks. Ooh, and Wrangle got sacked down. 3rd and 13 by Dominique Jackson. They were ready for it that time, but still not going to stop. 3rd and 13. If they can't get it here, going to try and kick a field goal, probably. But obviously, that's not what you want. Wrangle throws it right to Cobb. There's Oklahoma State's specialty this season, is turnovers. Interceptions being one of them. Garrett Wrangle, his first turnover of the game so far. Probably should have just run it, taken your field goal to get ahead early. But that's all right. There's still plenty of game to play today. Unbelievably, Oklahoma State's defense managed to stop USC from scoring. They got real close to the end there, but Oklahoma State, with their number 1 ranked defense in the country, managed to hold it down. Ollie Gordon looks like he got a bit messed up on the foot pass there. Still made it out. Oklahoma State, that is something important to note that I feel like we haven't touched on a lot lately. Oklahoma State has the top defense in the country, number 1 across the board, which either says something about the quality of other defenses. Johnson has it to the 40, down right before the 30, 33-yard reception. What a great breakaway play. Didn't even expect that one coming out here. Oklahoma State has the number 1 defense in the country right now. Let's see if USC is going to upend that and knock them down the ranks a little bit. Again to Josiah Johnson. They are just feeding the ball to him today. Again, no huddle, just keep it moving. That's all Garrett Wrangle is saying. Keep it moving, keep it moving. That's all you've got to do. Going up again. Gordon pushing through, making a couple yards. Ollie Gordon is really a breakout star on this team. You want to talk about Oklahoma State's few successes in the early goings of this season. It was all down to Ollie Gordon. His rushing attack was nearly unbeatable. Elijah Collins gets him a couple extra yards. But now that Garrett Wrangle is out there at quarterback, we could be seeing some changes up here. More adjustments on the line. Still adjusting. What are they going to do here? They're making some interesting choices today. Snap the ball. Gordon got it again. I guess that's the one they were looking for. Ollie Gordon just barely makes it across that first down marker. I thought for sure he was going to be a little short, but the refs say otherwise. And a great Josiah Johnson. Nobody was out there. A last-minute adjustment by Rangel out there to call that, and Oklahoma State is going to be on the board first. There was nobody out there. Rangel knew exactly how to adjust it. And that'll put us up 7-0. Oklahoma State once again takes the first score of the game. USC could very easily catch up. Texas and Oklahoma 24-17. Let's see if Texas could pull out a miracle in the fourth quarter there. Down there at the bottom, Cincinnati and Temple. Cincinnati takes it 31-21. Coming up later, we're going to be having Marshall versus Florida Atlantic and Charlotte versus USF. Down here in the red zone, 2nd and 10, USC, 40 seconds left on the clock. Can they tie it up before halftime? Throws out to a screen, gets nowhere. In fact, loses 2 yards on the reception to Brandon Rice. Not great so far. USC looking to huddle up real quick here. Ready to throw it out. Out to him, 87. Nowhere for Lake McCree. Oklahoma State has held them to a 4th and 8. That is why they are the number 1 ranked defense in the country. Justin Wright credited with that tackle. Looks like they're going to wind the clock down here, bring us into the halftime at 7-3. Oklahoma State will be up. You can't believe it. Against a team like USC who's been putting up 50 points or more per game. Texas has managed to pull ahead. 27-24, 12 seconds left. This will be a major blow to Oklahoma's undefeated season if they can hold it off in the last 12 seconds. We have certainly seen some miracles around the country before. That's a game to keep your eye on in the stats later. That's going to bring us into halftime, 7-3. Oklahoma State's got to be proud of themselves. Pulling it all the way out from Oklahoma to California, and they're looking great. And we're here to kick off the third quarter, second half. Oklahoma State's kicking it to USC. Something we neglected to mention in the first half is that Caleb Williams, one of the strongest parts of USC's entire offense, is not present today. And a lot of people have been asking questions about whether he's been okay over the past couple weeks. He was injured just a couple weeks ago in the middle of an absolute blowout of a game, sprained his back. It looked much worse when it occurred, but it was only a sprained back, but it has been a serious injury for him to try and overcome, which has kept him off the field. Certainly got a reason as to why USC is not managing to push the ball as well as they could against Oklahoma State. Caleb Williams is expected to be back in another 3 weeks. Let's see how much more damage can be done to the USC record in that amount of time. 3rd and 5 now, down on USC's side of the field. They're just not able to move the ball. They've been moving it up and down the field during the first half, but it hasn't been productive. Moving out again. Shoots it down to him. Nobody was on him. And Taj Washington almost had a big breakaway play, but his foot stepped just out of bounds. Miller Moss is filling in for Caleb Williams. He's doing an alright job so far. A certainly respectable job, especially against the number 1 ranked defense. Faked him out, but absolutely met at the line of scrimmage. Let's see if Miller Moss can put USC up on this drive, or if they're going to sputter out again. Mario Williams, 17-yard reception. It's going to keep the ball moving for USC. When it looked like it was about to be shut out again, they're going to keep going here. See how this play develops. Oh, absolutely nothing going. Brought him down completely. Nothing going, unfortunately. USC was not able to move it after such a good drive. It's now 4th and 13. They're going to punt it away from midfield, try and pin Oklahoma State way back there, and it flies far past where Oklahoma State certainly would have wanted it. Would have wanted a little bit of a chance to make a good drive there. But Oklahoma State's going to be back on the field yet again, in great positioning at least, for holding off this USC team. 7-3, third quarter almost done. Taking it out. Gordon saw the man coming, tried to duck around his offensive lineman, but couldn't get anywhere going. Eric Gentry absolutely lit him up out there. No huddle again. Got plenty of guys going. Rangel fakes it out to nobody and gets sacked. That is how Oklahoma State does play sometimes. We've got to keep that in mind. For all the good Oklahoma State could do, they can just as very easily lose it in the second half of the football game. Rangel made an adjustment. He's tossing it up. Johnson had it. A great reception, 35 yards. Really pulled out that third down that looked like it was going to just fall short of everything they needed. No huddle still. These boys are some of the most well-conditioned athletes in the league today. A fast-paced offense can be tough against anybody. Had to get it out of there. Lost 3 yards. It would have been much more had he not been able to get it out of his palms. At least he did. And it's going to be a completed pass. That always looks good on your record sheet. That'll bring us into the fourth quarter. Cowboys up 7-3. Low-scoring game. But Oklahoma State could have a win on their hands. Here to bring us out into the fourth quarter, the home stretch. Oklahoma State, 2nd and 13. Rangel got blown up. Where was the offensive line? Mason Cobb absolutely brought him down. There was nothing going there. Was there an offensive line at all? That has got to hurt. Adjusted. Johnson again. Johnson is just a power player on this team today. Couldn't quite make it to the down marker, but he got them closer than they would have otherwise. Looks like he keeps calling out some different plays, hoping for something. Collins was open, manages to stay over the line. 3-yard reception for Elijah Collins. Rangel looked a little rattled out there, but I guess he was just calling out some different things to get the defense completely unaware of what he was going to be trying to do. And he's open. Rangel pulls it away. Just had to throw it out of there. He was about to get dumped off. And they'll actually take a huddle this time. Back on the line. Moving it out. Seeing what they're going to do. Johnson, once again, was the target. Couldn't hold on to it, though. That's kind of what happens when you keep going to the same receiver over and over, is eventually the defense is going to catch on and they're going to target that guy. And if he gets the ball, they're going to be ripping that thing right out of there as much as they can. Oh, Stribling. First catch of the day. Stribling got a 17-yard reception. That keeps the ball moving. You can't be upset with that one. Rangel got it out of there. Gordon, no big gain. And that's going to bring us to the end of this game. Gordon, slipping on the ground there. Gets a little slippery when you're this sweaty from all the running you've had to do today. Looks like they're pulling it out into the victory formation. This will definitely bring the end of this ball game. USC takes a big loss. Gotta admit, this is an upset. Oklahoma State isn't even ranked. And number 11 USC is taking another loss. You can't believe it. It's 4th and goal. Oklahoma State is going to kick this and end the game. A lot of USC fans got to be unhappy. You're surprised Oklahoma State didn't chew more clock there. That's going to give 10 seconds for USC to make a play. Kickoff, launched it back. As soon as this ball touches the ground, clock is starting. And he's brought down with 5 seconds remaining. Can't believe Oklahoma State didn't chew the rest of the clock there for that field goal. I think we know it's going to be a big Hail Mary most likely. They've got some men out. See if they can make this loss a little less shattering. Pulling it out. He couldn't even get it out of there. Miller Moss sacked, brought down. That's going to bring us to the end of this game. An absolute upset. 2-3. Oklahoma State has upset 5-1. Ranked 11 USC. Josiah Johnson absolutely should be player of the game. Look at that. 1, 2, 3 yards. That's how easy it was for him to play against this team today. Might not have been the most exciting game of football, but you've got to admit this is one heck of an upset that we were not expecting. You had to expect there was some momentum for the West Virginia game, but not enough momentum to take down USC so thoroughly. That's going to do it for this episode of the Oklahoma State Cowboys Dynasty. We'll catch y'all on the next one.